How's it going, comic book fans? Welcome back to Comic Drops. Today we're exploring the darker, tragic side of two of the most heart-wrenching series to have ever hit the comic industry, namely Stray Dogs and Feral, both written by Tony Fleece, with art by Trish Forstner, Tone Rodriguez, and Brad Simpson. These two series take us into the lives of characters who have experienced betrayal, loss, and heartbreak like few others have. We'll be counting down the top 5 most tragic characters from these two comic series. So what makes a character tragic? Is it their loyalty, their resilience, or perhaps their sense of hope they carry, even in their darkest moments? And who made the top of the list? Stay tuned to find out. Starting off our list at number 5, we have Sophie from Stray Dogs. Sophie appears in all 5 issues of this series and is central to the entire story. Her journey is what drives the narrative forward, and her experiences are filled with mystery, discovery, and ultimately heartbreak. Sophie's story begins when she arrives at the Master's house, confused and unable to remember how she got there. She's surrounded by other dogs, all of whom are strangely familiar with the Master and each other, but something doesn't sit right with Sophie. It's when she spots a red scarf that things start to fall into place. The horrifying realization hits her that her previous owner was killed and she was taken by the Master as a horrific trophy. This is the beginning of Sophie's role as the main character, uncovering the twisted secrets hidden within the Master's house. Sophie is a compelling character because she doesn't just unravel the story, she propels it forward. Through her bravery and determination, she uncovers the Master's dark secrets in his secret room and discovers the fate of her fellow captive, Victor. She ultimately convinces Earl and the others that Master isn't just an owner, but a killer. Sophie's journey from confusion to clarity, from terror to bravery, makes her story tragic yet incredibly inspiring. Her strength carries the story forward, making her an unforgettable character. Next on our list at number 4, we have Lord from Feral. Lord is part of the central group of cats and initially brings a carefree, energetic spirit that adds lightness to the group's darker journey. But as we delve deeper into his backstory, we see a layer of tragedy beneath his cheerful demeanor. Lord was originally rescued by a family who took him in as a kitten, but soon after being brought home, he experienced a terrible betrayal. Elsie, who was meant to care for him, led him out into the woods and abandoned him. Alone, scared, and left to fend for himself, Lord suffered terribly. Days later, he was found bloody and starving, but he survived, though with emotional scars that ran deep. In a haunting twist, Lord doesn't remember his traumatic experience at first. It's only when Patch tells him what happened that the truth hits him, and the realization shatters his world, prompting him to run away. What makes Lord so tragically compelling is his combination of hidden pain and his attempt to move forward. Even without remembering, he carries a sense of abandonment and betrayal, which he masks with his boundless optimism. His decision to leave the group leaves readers aching for his return. His story is a powerful reminder of the resilience required to survive betrayal and the pain of confronting buried trauma. Taking the number 3 spot, we have Victor from Stray Dogs. Victor's story is one of loyalty, innocence, and a tragedy that tugs at your heartstrings in a way that few characters can. Victor is a firefighter's dog, adopted after suffering severe burns in a fire and having his leg amputated. He's a lovable, friendly presence in the group, loyal to everyone he meets. However, his loyalty and bravery lead him down a dark path when he begins to uncover the Master's secrets. In one of the series' most heart-wrenching scenes, Victor finds the graves dug under the Master's porch where he was burying his victims. Trying to get help, he dials 911, a brave and almost human act of desperation, but he's caught by the Master. The scene that follows is haunting. The Master takes Victor outside, and despite knowing what's about to happen, Victor remains loyal to the end. He lovingly looks up at the Master, even rubbing his head against his leg, completely unaware of the fate that awaits him. Moments later, the Master shoots Victor. He then skins him and mounts his head in his secret room as a macabre trophy. Victor's loyalty, even in his final moments, makes his death one of the most tragic in Stray Dogs. His innocent trust, combined with his painful fate, leaves a lasting impact on the reader. It's a scene that sticks with us, highlighting the cruelty of betrayal and the heartbreak of innocence lost. Coming in at number 2 is Earl from Stray Dogs. Earl's story is especially heartbreaking because of his unwavering trust and loyalty, qualities that both strengthen and ultimately destroy him. Earl is an older dog who has lived with the Master for most of his life and is deeply attached to him, seeing him as a loving owner. For much of the story, he dismisses Sophie's attempts to reveal the Master's true nature, unable to believe that the person he's trusted for so long could be a monster. Earl even defends the Master when the other dogs start doubting him, remaining loyal until undeniable evidence forces him to confront the horrible truth. The most compelling moment for Earl comes when he enters the Master's secret room and sees the mounted heads of other dogs, including Victor. This revelation is soul-crushing for Earl, and it forces him to make an unimaginable choice. In the climax of Stray Dogs, Earl sacrifices himself to save the other dogs. He attacks the Master, jumps through the living room window, and runs into the road to stop traffic. Tragically, he's hit by a car, but his actions give the other dogs a chance to escape. Earl's tragic story is defined by his transformation, from a loyal, trusting dog into a hero willing to give up everything for his friends. His journey is heartbreaking, showing the pain of realizing you've been deceived by someone you loved, and his sacrifice leaves a lasting impact on both the characters and the readers. And finally, at the top of our list, we have Patch from Feral. Patch's story is perhaps the most tragic of all, because of the intense emotional and physical struggle he endures, as well as the devastating choice he makes at the end. Patch is a part of the main group of cats in Feral, and was originally a part of a family with Elsie and Lord. However, his life took a dark turn when animal control took him away from his family. He managed to escape when the animal control van wrecked, but his journey only became more dangerous from there. Patch was chased by a hazmat team and scratched by a rabid raccoon, infecting him with the virus that eventually takes over his mind. The tragedy of Patch is most apparent in Feral number 6, which is told from his perspective as a rabid cat and is a haunting issue that serves as a character study for Patch. We experience his inner struggle firsthand as he fights between the virus taking over and his memories of his former self. Even as the disease ravages his mind, Patch desperately tries to find Elsie and Lord, knowing deep down that he can never return to his old life. His sacrifice to protect Elsie makes him a heartbreaking figure, embodying the tragedy of losing oneself piece by piece, even as he clings to the people he once loved. Patch is an amazingly dynamic character in Feral, and we haven't yet learned his ultimate fate. So that wraps up my countdown for the most tragic characters in Stray Dogs and Feral. Let me know in the comments below which character you think is the most tragic. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the world of comics. Thanks for watching Comic Drops, and we'll see you in the next video.